Broadcast is up.
Now it seems the power of the gravy woe to say, I know you'll be a god. Okay, I'm in.
Okay. It's like I'll just sort my inventory while he joins, then we immediately join. Okay. That's right, I have the TNT this time. I wonder how useful that's going to be for this fight. Probably not very. If I had the intro, but... Wait, isn't there more fish here? But I can't get them, can I?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I know the first time I did this, I was scared to shoot the water because I remembered something about shooting water being fucked.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. I wouldn't be concerned about shooting any water anywhere.
Yeah.
Got some rare things on sales. What are you selling?
In fact, I would go so far as to say is that if you see a big body of water, just absolutely shoot at it.
Great. Okay.
It's a very positive thing, shooting all the water that you see.
Thank you.
Okay. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Just good advice.
Mm-hmm.
What are you buying? What are you buying?
No, everything is like red now. I don't need to upgrade anything, actually. The yellow cat's eye isn't until next chapter, right? At least I think it is.
Remember, boulders are friends.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, this part. Okay.
Oh. I'm like, why does your scope look so weird? It's because you have the actual scope
Yes.
attachment.
Yes, I do. Leon, you fucking swine son of a bitch.
I'm not liking these YouTube algorithms that you're fucking causing to pop up on my feed, dude.
Like what?
Like, how to do a pacifist run in Dark Souls.
Is it? How is that my fault? Because I said the word pacifist?
We've said the word pacifism around YouTube, too.
Suffer. I like those. Because it's like fun, because it's like an exercise in like really knowing the game's mechanics, right?
You don't need restraint when you can just shoot everything with your magic and your guns.
The point of it is that it's a challenge. It's not meant to be easy. Don't make me get out my fucking shotgun, you fucking snake. Where did it go?
You know, I think that using your shotgun on the snake would be more of a waste than just shooting it up into the sky.
At least I'd get items, in theory.
But space.
But healing items. Since the fuck when did you guys get up here? Fuck. I heard the
there's a
ominous
mob
music,
behind
but...
you. And then when you're done with that ominous mob of zombies, another one will come.
Yeah, I remember there being a few, but not so early.
You appear to be getting beat up by those zombies, dude.
Yeah, I died.
I knew the exact moment that you died. I'm like, well, he's not reloading and he's out of ammo, so he's dead.
Uh-huh. I didn't realize that I had to shoot all those fuckers again. Fucking sniper rifle the snake. I hear you fuckers this time. You said something about fire?
Oh no, just earlier when you lit that group of zombies on fire. And then you decided that, you know, you were done being bad at aiming and that you were actually gonna, like, blow heads off, like, 5 times in a row. So that was pretty sick.
Yeah, I was like, damn. I'm not upset.
I never really found the use for incendiary grenades in this game. Usually I was just like hand grenades and obviously the flash grenades for the thing.
Okay, I need to reload now. What?
Just, I'm out of ammo on all my guns. What do I do?
I assume we're probably getting an item here. You got upset with me shooting a bomb, but you didn't get upset with the loud ass fucking rifle shots. Fuck! Right behind me. Feel free to take your fucking time, I guess. Sliced. Yeah, I noticed that I wasn't after I asked the question. I also seem to remember there being a piece of treasure on this side of the map in the water. There's a fucking snake over there. I was right. You bitch, I will get you. Ciao.
What a thrill. Just some days you go through the rain. Some days you feed on tree frog.
Mm. Does that say, is this man just walking into a wall in that room?
You laugh when somebody inevitably appears behind you.
That would be my life, wouldn't it? Where the fuck did the snake go, though? I saw this fucker crawling around.
He's in the bushes by the door, probably.
No golden eggs. It's making me sad. I'm not hunting down a fucking snake.
That's what you say until you start hunting down the fucking snake.
Mm. However, if I happen to find the snake on the way to where I'm going, being a dumbass slithering into a wall.
Yeah, that was the door I was mentioning, but I figured you'd find it eventually.
Mm. Ah yes, the giant body of water that I should definitely shoot.
Definitely save and then definitely shoot. Trust me, I'm your friend. I'm giving you accomplishments.
Mm-hmm. Is there actually a fucking trophy for doing that shit?
Yeah, there's a trophy for it. That's why I was going to make you do it. And for the longest fucking time, I didn't realize that's what you were supposed to do in order to get the trophy. I thought it was just like beat the monster or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this trophy is fucking bugged on every PlayStation platform.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the water. That seems a good idea.
Do it. Don't you wimp out on me.
There's not any more birds nests, are there? I think there's just the one.
Oh yeah, there's one on the way down there.
I grabbed it.
Okay, yeah, so it's just the one.
I'm proud of myself that I remembered the pipe.
Yeah. I was gonna remind you if you got too far, but you figured it out, so.
I got a fuck ton of eggs on me.
You know, if you throw the eggs at a wall, before the chainsaw guy, outside of the house, he does his best ZT impression and gets mad at you for wasting resources, so he tries to chop off your head with a chainsaw.
A man after my own heart. Damage? Or is it just like haha throwing eggs?
You can get a rotten egg, and I think it's a one-hit kill on minor enemies.
Now, how does he trigger? Is it like individual trigger pulls, or is it how many bullets go in the water?
I think it's individual trigger pulls. Or, I mean, I guess technically that's not it, like, because you could just fire TMP.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I could. Does it speed it up? Which it doesn't look like it is.
I mean, you shoot like 3 times in the water and it's done, like, it's no big deal.
Do I need to stand on the dock?
I think you have to be standing on the pier.
There we go. I didn't get an achievement.
You will. Don't you fucking worry about it, you will.
I didn't.
Don't doubt me.
Doubting.
That's your first mistake.
I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. It was only in one part of the fucking game.
Listen. Resident Evil 4 did a lot for video games. Contextualized damage is something that wasn't done before this game. This game also made QTEs popular. And it has one intro, an iconic intro, where you find yourself in the middle of an abandoned village filled with zombies and a chainsaw man. And you're telling me that you find yourself in this revolutionary video game that did lots of good for the industry, and you're not going to engage in one of its most iconic moments.
It's not that I don't want to
and
engage.
Tell me that I'm the monster.
I never said you were a monster for that. I called you a monster for completely acceptable and contextually useful reasons. Also, fuck.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I did this before without taking damage. And the boat just got away from me in this one instance. It's like, fuck, of course it's when fucking Kumo's watching.
As somebody who's played a lot of Resident Evil 4 over the years, I was having some trouble with this section coming back to it a couple days ago.
Really?
And I'm not sure why. It was weird.
I'm just gonna shove some eggs down my throat real quick. That was fucking close. First time I did this, I did it on TV, but now I have headphones. It's like I can hear where he's coming from instead of just guessing.
Don't rely on the sound of your headphones. They will mislead you.
They did it just now, the fucking assholes. Right when I start talking about it. Also, why did I get hit there? I hit him twice. What the fuck?
Oh, you know what happened? He did his lunge to attack you as the second one was hitting, so he'd already committed to the attack before you got him twice. But yeah, you hear like, I have surround sound. And it's like, that don't mean shit. This has to be, you're like 1 or 2 away.
Got him.
It's funny because you were 2 away.
Yeah?
So when you're going to download the mod that lets you play through the game in the boat?
I'm sorry, what?
I was looking into mods because now that I have it on PC, it's feasible to mod it, right?
Yeah.
And one of the mods was just, you play the game, the entire game,
in the boat
with the harpoons.
I wonder how the harpoon damage is.
palpable, but it doesn't go through more than one enemy.
Hmm. It's reasonable.
Listen, I would just have assumed that you launched the harpoon into a crowd of people and God help whoever's in the way, you know?
Yeah. But it's designed to just...
I guess that's... Yeah, that's just not the way that the harpoons are designed, because they're designed for the one encounter.
Now, harpoon launchers, on the other hand, I could see going through multiple people, but hand-thrown harpoons...
Oh, I was talking about, like, the damage value on the model for the actual enemy, but yeah, I guess.
But thinking about QTEs, I was playing Spider-Man, and Dad, I finally got to play some video games again.
Nice.
Because after his surgery, his dexterity hasn't been good.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get him back up to a place where he can play the games that he likes. He's playing Spider-Man,
Does
and
does the accessibility options in Spider-Man help him out?
he turned off QTEs.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, he could have done them, and I was triggered deep down inside. Because I died multiple times to those QTEs. But...
Dad will never know the frustration of dying because he's not quick enough to push buttons.
I also played it on the hardest difficulty while he played it on the easiest, so... Yeah, he keeps telling me I'm a masochist because I keep playing games on harder difficulties than normal. Like, no, that's not masochism.
Masochism would be playing something like, I don't know, Resident Evil 4 on the hardest difficulty and starting the game over every time you died. Well, anywhere between, I don't know, 5 and 100 people watch you do it.
Well, after that point, it's not masochism, it's a performance. It'd be masochism.
Masochism. It's a show for everybody to enjoy your pain.
It would be pure masochism if you were doing it alone. Oh no, it'd be pure masochism if you were doing it alone and didn't record it.
I am considering picking up the speedrun for this game, which means I will have to do lots of practicing alone, and that seems like masochism.
You don't have to do it alone. You could stream it.
I could. But I mean, like, as far as the practicing, I don't necessarily want... If I were to stream again, I'm not sure I would want to stream lots of, like, practice and learning sessions.
Well, I mean, it's not like you're going to be doing anything else during that time. You can talk while you're building muscle memory. And it's not like... most of us are there for gameplay anyway. Most of the time, the people who are part of our community are there because the people.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. The thing that I'm not looking forward to if I were to pick this up as a speedrun is menuing. Because fuck, I don't give a fuck about menuing, but I understand its importance, right? But it's just not something that I normally care about.
Understand.
Oh, I forgot that there was actually rifle ammo back there. I missed that last time I was here.
Fuck, I was gonna say something. It was a question about the game and I lost it.
Okay. In regards to the speed running or how intensive the menuing
I don't remember.
is.
It's completely gone.
Okay. I was trying to jog your memory there a little bit. I know I'm fat, but I can jog some stuff, you know?
I understand.
What are you buying? What are you selling?
Oh, did I miss the yellow cat's eye?
You might have missed the red.
I got the red. I got red and green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't miss the yellow then. The yellow's towards the end of the village.
Thank you.
I was just concerned.
No, no, no. It's a very late pickup.
Thank you.
You basically pick it up right before you fight the final boss of the village. The big chase.
The big cheese.
He has big, and he is made of chase. And centipede parts.
We don't talk about the centipede parts. He's sensitive about that.
He's like cheese mixed with the boss from RE0 that takes Rebecca away. You play as Billy.
I should definitely get that on PC, because you know somebody's going to have to modify an actual multiplayer into that game, right? Somebody has to.
I'm not sure about that. I didn't do a lot of digging into the RE0 modding forums, but I did end up picking RE2 picking up RE2 for PC because it was like $20 or something, and I was like, that's a good price for
RE2 make or RE2?
Remake.
Ah.
Yeah, so RE2 Remake was on sale on Steam for like $20, so I picked it up. And the way that modding scene is it's not like Nexus mods is where you go for that game. Although there is quite a bit of Nexus modding going on. The Resident Evil games have their own modding community that's like just huge and deep. Like if you wanted to mod RE4, you don't go to Nexus mods at all because there's just nothing there. Instead, you go to the Resident Evil modding website, go to the forums, and try to figure out like what you want from there.
Right.
But yeah, so I didn't really take a deep look into RE0 because, to be frank, it's one of the Resident Evil games that I am currently interested in revisiting the least.
Right.
Although it is one that I want to revisit because I just haven't beaten it. But the reason I haven't beaten it is because every time I pick it up, I get to a point where I just don't enjoy it.
I haven't finished it either. And I enjoy that game.
Yeah.
It's just, moment to moment, I don't think it's as good as some of the other ones. Just flat out.
Yeah, I usually just, and it's because of resource management and like thick-headedness and whatever, but like, man, it's rough.
I never had a problem with resources, and that's part of the reason why I don't like that game that much, is because last time I played it, I had like 300 pistol ammo. And I was like, there's no point in continuing, because I know I can just strafe and shoot people.
Yeah.
It's not survival anymore. Also, fuck, how many headshots does this Las Plagas want to take?
That was one of the cool things about the critical build on the regular handgun I noticed, is that the criticals also count as one hit to Plagas when they pop.
Yeah.
So like, I had moments where it's like, one shot to the head, and the zombie's dead, but he's Plagas. Oh no, one more shot and the Plagas is dead. And it just feels good to have to only use 2 bullets instead of like...
like Magnum.
The only like Plagas exclusive thing that I can really think of, and you're missing a barrel behind you, I think, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, I think the only Plagas exclusive like thing is flash grenades.
What do the flash grenades do for Plagas?
So the reason that the Plagas haven't been popping out until just now, as it gets dark, is because
it's daytime.
Yeah, it's because the Plagas itself is sensitive to light. So if a Plagas pops and you throw a flash grenade, it will just instantly kill the Plagas.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that my first like 10 playthroughs or so.
I was just never using the fucking flash grenades.
Yeah, flash grenades were utterly useless to me until I found that out, and then I made it a habit to hold on to 1 or 2 just in case I got to like a part where I'm like, oh, hey, there's 2 claw guys, and that's bad news, so let's throw them.
Especially in the later parts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Actually, hold on.
Resident Evil 0 Remaster. Only 2 currently. It's kind of cool that in all these Resident Evil forums, if you yourself were interested in creating a mod, there is modding tutorials and like every single section for that particular
Yeah,
game.
there's also like a really strong modding community around Pikmin,
Oh,
which I didn't expect to be there.
As somebody who's never played a Pikmin game ever, that kind of surprises me.
We should fix that. It's so good. I love it.
I have just never owned, and it's not from a lack of desire to play a Pikmin.
Mm-hmm.
It is just never happened, right?
Yeah. I can understand that because their releases are like weird. Because you got GameCube 1 and 2, and then you have Wii 1 and 2, and then 3 is fucking just stuck in purgatory on the Wii U. There's been a lot of rumors about 3 being remastered, and a lot of Mario remasters coming, in theory. Like 64, Sunshine,
I was just
Galaxy
about
1
to
and
say I
2.
can see them doing 64 and Sunshine. I don't sure if they would need to port to remaster or remake Galaxy, but I guess I haven't played them, so I don't know.
I think it would be really cool if they like properly remastered them and put in the same amount of detail they put into Odyssey for all of those games. Because when you go back to Galaxy, it's kind of bare in a weird way.
Gotcha.
Like, it's got the Nintendo polish and it looks good. And also it's in space, so bare makes sense, but could also be that I haven't played those games in a long ass time too, so.
Yeah.
But I was playing a ROM hack for Pikmin 2 and it was some good shit.
Huh.
If you wanted to like play those or stream them, I'd be super down to hang. It's a really chill, fun game.
Okay. I mean, I'd be down. I just currently don't have any way to play them.
Cough, cough, emulation, cough, cough.
I guess Dolphin, right? Yeah.
Yep. Super easy. And you get both 1 and 2. I can even show you how to emulate 3, because that's the only way I've played it.
Gotcha.
And it's like super, super easy. That's how I played Breath of the Wild.
Does Resident Evil 0 have native co-op? It doesn't, right?
It does not have native, no.
Yeah, so I'm kind of going through the Resident Evil 0 mod forum because I am curious to see if anybody did anything with co-ops, because I think that sort of thing is kind of rife for people to play with.
Right.
I'm not seeing anything indicating that that's what they're doing.
Like, it is a game that I think lends itself to that suggestion really easy, but also it has no base, and neither does any game like it have a base for co-op. So I think it'd be really hard, because you'd have to just invent it from the ground up.
Yeah.
Which, granted, they did that for Skyrim, but that's still in development.
Well, so the problem, I was actually thinking about Skyrim and Fallout, right? And like those like Bethesda games that people have said for years they should just do co-op with.
Hmm.
The problem with bringing co-op to those particular games is the Atlas loading. And if you don't know what that means, the way that that game works is that your character is always like the center of the world, and everything loads around the character.
Well, you know they have Skyrim multiplayer functional and stable right now, right?
Yeah, and that was the issue that they had to get around in order to make that multiplayer work was the Atlas load. Or whatever, that was like the nickname term that the Bethesda people gave it, because you are basically Atlas holding the world up.
Yeah.
So the people that did multiplayer Skyrim had to get around that problem in order to get that to work, and that's a huge obstacle that it seems like they overcame. Whereas I'm not sure how RE0 works as far as like loading the world and loading the rooms and everything. But my gut, as somebody who knows nothing about like programming, my gut tells me that it seems like it would be easier to figure out how to do it in RE0 than it would for like a Skyrim or a Fallout.
Right, because everything is so small, and it's not loaded at all. There's no LOD, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if player is here,
I mean,
then load the whole fucking thing.
I mean, to be fair, going through a door is a load screen. That is why there's the slow door opening thing, is that it's just a way to hide a loading screen. Right?
On the, on PC, it's not a loading screen.
Okay. So they kept it for Atmosphere on PC, but at the time with the GameCube, it was just a necessary hardware limitation. Okay.
I think there's like only like 3 or 4 actual loading screens in Resi 1.
That's cool.
Because it's all pre-rendered and modern, tech can handle that so well now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, the technology and the hardware itself is so much more advanced than it was back in 2001 or whenever the GameCube launched. I think it was 2000, just straight up 2000.
I think you're correct.
God, fucking 20 years ago.
Part of me is like, I should have bought the rocket launcher just so I can skip this.
Oh, it was September 14th, 2000. Was the Japanese release date. And earliest release date for the GameCube operating system. Oh, no, never mind. It was a proprietary Nintendo operating system, not the GameCube operating system.
I can't remember. Does this have a damage threshold that I need to beat before the dog shows up?
Yes, before the dog shows up. If you wanted to, there is a strategy that involves getting El Gigante down by the rock. The rock wall. Until the Plagas comes out, and then you throw a hand grenade off of the rock wall and onto the Plaga spreading out of his back, and it does like 1 billion fucking damage or whatever.
I don't think I'll be able to do that. Especially having never seen it.
It's not that hard to actually hit the shot itself. You basically just aim up as far as you can and bounce it off of the cliff.
Right.
And then it'll go off exactly. It's all about getting El Gigante himself to go down in the right spot.
And that's the thing where I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could if I was like spend a couple lives figuring it out, but
I actually think you might have been in a good position there, but obviously, like, play safe, do what you're comfortable doing. Don't
oh
take
fuck, he was right
unnecessary
next to me.
risks.
You know, I was actually surprised when the dog came and helped me when I was doing this for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I thought that him freaking out in like the village 2 screens after you save him, what just happened? Was him helping. So I was like, oh, he helped. Okay, cool. Even though all I did was run around and bark, but. I was just running around waiting for the dog to take aggro, but I guess he's not going to do that. Didn't feel like it.
I was taking a look at the release dates for RE1 Remake and RE0.
Mm-hmm. 2003-ish, I'm gonna guess.
March
2005.
2002
Really?
for RE1 Remake, which is actually like, fuck. And that's like 7 years after RE1. Like, that's a good time for a remake, and they did an amazing job on it. Like, RE1 Remake is...
It's
RE1
still like,
Remake is
I think,
God.
across all video games, I think it's like the pinnacle of what a remake should be.
I think Shadow of the Colossus comes very... And it gives RE1 Remake a run for its money.
I haven't played original or anything Shadow of the Colossus, so
I think you would enjoy that that game, like when it gets cheap and you have a chance to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's all a boss rush, and each boss is just a puzzle.
I'm
So,
aware
like,
of what goes on. It's just I've never played it.
Gotcha.
I think I watched like maybe 2 Colossi in, and then got bored of watching it. But I can see playing it being a different experience.
It's a very visual game. Like, it's visually satisfying.
Right.
But so, like, I would say that the reason that RE1 Remake is probably just a straight-up better remake, is because RE1 Remake takes the original thing, keeps the spirit, updates the graphics, and adds in ways that are unique without, like, detracting from the original, right?
Right.
Like Crimson Heads, and extra puzzles, and extra
And more
rooms and stuff like
rooms,
that. Yeah. Shadow of the Colossus Remake is just, what if we did the game again and intentionally recreated the bugs and stuff that people like, that don't like ruin the game.
That seems like more of a remaster than a remake.
But they did it from the ground up. They didn't reuse any assets or shade over any assets. Like, they actually remade the game.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. You don't really see that happening, right? But so, like, the problem is...
This bit,
that, like,
would the play be just to run to the door?
Keep your camera to the right as you run, and you'll be okay. Can you move camera using right stick?
I can.
Okay, yeah, so just keep your camera to the right. The dogs won't actually be able to hit you at all.
I was stuck for like 20 minutes in this room trying to figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do.
Oh.
Because it's like, I had never seen like an instance of having to fucking swing before.
Yeah. I guess this is the first chandelier swing, huh?
Yep. And it's not like super obvious either.
Yeah, no. Oh, sorry, but getting back to my original point.
Yep.
RE1 is a damn fine remake and like a pinnacle of a video game. A tour de force, if you will, right?
Right.
March 2002. And then RE0 in November of 2002. And while I wouldn't say that RE0 is terrible, I've got my issues with it, I've got my reasons I haven't finished it, RE0 is no RE1 remake.
Oh, definitely not. I think that for Zero, they were like, alright, we have this new engine and art style, we gotta do something other than a remake with it. So let's just do a thing real quick. I think that if they took more time, because I think the reason why 1 was able to be pumped out as quickly as it was and as successfully as it was is because it already had a strong base.
Yeah.
I'll just leave this incendiary grenade, it's fine. But with Zero, they also took that shot in the dark with the mechanics.
Yeah.
That I don't think
they don't
does
lend themselves
super
very well to traditional Resident Evil play, right? Like, the game itself plays like a traditional Resident Evil game. But the mechanics are so far removed from what that tradition is that sometimes it's a little jarring.
I definitely agree. But like, if you take a look at that game without the fucking two-player fucking weird mechanics, artistically it looks fantastic. Soundtrack is great. Monster design is pretty fucking good. It's just the one thing that fucks it, I think.
Just the mechanical risks they took.
Yeah.
I can see that.
If it were possible to mod it and get rid of it, I think it would be fantastic. But yeah, that's impossible.
Yeah. Also, I am kind of fascinated about Konami and the deals that they made with consoles back in the day, right? So they made the deal with Sony to make Resident Evil games exclusively for PlayStation, and that's kind of how they got the funding for Resident Evil, right? So they had RE1, RE2, and then they're like, well, we need to do this third one, and like, we're working on Code Veronica, and that's supposed to be Resident Evil 3, but we've got this spin-off game with Jill, and like, Sony would really like that to be 3, so we're gonna take Nemesis and call that 3, to like, honor our deal. And then they're like, okay, and then once we get out of that deal, we've got to deal with Nintendo, and we can port Resident Evil 2 and 3 to the Nintendo 64, and eventually the GameCube. And then they sign a deal for 3 more exclusive games on GameCube, and those games are Resident Evil 1 Remake, Resident Evil 0, and RE4. And it just seems like, I'm not saying that Resident Evil 3 is trash, because Resident Evil 3 is a good game.
Right.
Another game that I kind of have like my issues with, but I understand why people like it, right?
Right.
But it is definitely the odd duck out between 1 and 2. I guess you could argue that 3 is probably better than 1, but that's just because growing pains or whatever, right?
I think the argument generally is that 2 is a better game than 1.
Yeah.
And then 3, I think, does what 0 kind of did, and it went and mechanically fucked it in a weird way, but
And
not
some
as
people are
bad.
really into that. Yeah.
Will the United States
Yeah.
think they can police the world forever?
It, like, the mechanics it added lended itself better to the trajectory of the series than just adding in an AI partner.
Yeah, well, I mean, so, like, the changes at that point would have been you have this ever-present AI enemy who's stalking you. And to an extent, they did that with Mr. X, but Mr. X isn't the same as Nemesis, right?
Yeah.
Not in the original games. With RE2 Remake, they made Mr. X more Nemesis and Nemesis more Mr. X, which is kind of fucking weird, but whatever.
Yeah.
I might bargain with the president for some donation. Believe
But,
it or not,
and then they had the,
why
like,
do
choose
not
your
money
path stuff, right?
to this church?
Those could alter the games in palpable ways, but mechanically they're not super hard to
Oh, I
implement,
believe I
right?
forgot.
Right.
And they don't necessarily detract really from the core gameplay experience itself. Whereas with RE0, where they took that risk, they just ended up, like, changing fundamental ways about how the game was played.
Involuntarily, you'll do as I say. I'll have total control over your mind.
So it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because I would say that, like, RE3 is definitely the black sheep of that trilogy, but definitely not nearly as much of a black sheep. More like a slightly grayed sheep or whatever, like
Right.
off-white sheep.
I'd say
Whereas
3 is a black
RE0
sheep and 0 is a fucking sheep that can't produce wool at all.
Okay, listen, RE3 is the black sheep, right? And RE0 is the red-headed stepchild sheep. How the fuck did that even happen? But
Wait, follow me.
I have too much shit.
I'm just gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to tell you that I fucking told you so.
Well, all of this shit I've picked up since then. Not any of that stuff that I got from the village still is a major part of my inventory.
Yeah, okay.
I
You
think-
keep on believing that.
I think what the main thing is that they expect me to use more grenades than I do. I didn't have this
Or
issue
sell them.
the first time I went through. I didn't have this issue. But I think because I've gotten better, I'm keeping more healing items than I did. Because I never had this
Yeah.
much healing items than I did before.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a good thing, right? So
Yeah.
I think one of the big things is that you've got more healing, you've got flash grenades that you're not going to use. You should just sell those. Right?
Probably. Well, I could
hold on
use
to
them
one or
during
two.
the fucking cabin.
Hold on to one or two, because you will find more flash grenades in the cabin itself. You've also got the scope, which is absolutely worthless, and I'm not even sure why it's an item in this video game.
The only reason why I'm holding on to it is because I already paid for it, so I might as well use it.
Well, so, I mean, eventually you're going to get the semi-automatic rifle, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to sell the scope at some point. Because that scope doesn't work with the semi-auto rifle.
What are you selling?
Yep, I know. And I didn't have the TMP last time I went through this area too, so that's more space.
Yeah, fair enough. Although the TMP is pretty low inventory commitment.
Yeah, but that's like 3 or 4 more grenades and or healing items.
But you're drowning in healing items at this point.
Thank you.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm like short on them. I'm just saying that's why I have so little space.
Yeah.
Do I go ahead and get the red 9 now? I think I do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you've determined that red 9 is the direction you want to go on this run, then, like, red 9 is definitely what you should be doing.
What are you buying? A choice.
And I think that that's where I greatly benefited from my skill level during my last casual run that I did. Was that I wasn't going red 9, so I didn't need stock, because the red 9 is very sway heavy without the stock, so that's inventory commitment, right? And it turned out that I didn't need the stock for the TMP either, because I was good at managing the weapon sway and the recoil just on my own. So I was able to make it through the entire game without, like, taking up nearly as much inventory, and fuck, it was still a mess.
Thank you. Is that all?
That was the most exciting prospect for me restarting the game would be that I have a fucking huge case to start with.
You're like,
that was
New
what
Game
it was.
Plus? New Game Plus, and I've got like a billion fucking squares to work with? Let's go.
What are you buying?
I'm excited to do a New Game Plus run with just the base fucking handgun exploding heads every second or third shot. It's fucking sick.
Thank you.
Should I also upgrade the TMP?
Yeah, if possible. Usually, if you're going TMP upgrades, you want to focus on capacity and firepower.
Yep.
Assuming that you have a choice to make and not enough money to spend.
Got so many fucking heliums. Okay.
Anytime.
But yeah, the fully upgraded TMP is quite a force to reckon with. Because even at like 1.2, 1.1 for 1.2, the TMP is fucking ridiculous, right? But the fully upgraded TMP is 1.8. So it just mows people down.
My original plan was if I was able to finish that save, I'd go through and I'd buy the Chicago typewriter to get the submachine gun experience. And I was just going to skip right over the TMP.
You know what you have to do for a Chicago typewriter in addition to just beating the game, right?
No, I don't.
You have to beat Assignment Ada.
No, I was going to do that anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth going through. Assignment Ada is actually tough. Like, it's hard. Even for me, because I haven't played Assignment Ada nearly as much as I've played this game. Assignment Ada still gives me trouble every once in a while.
Where am I going right now?
And then I've literally only played Separate Ways like twice, so... Because I was a GameCube RE4 main. So all of this newfangled Separate Ways bullshit that wasn't in the GameCube version, but they added to the PlayStation version to make people like me sad, wasn't something that I really interacted with when I was a kid.
Ashley, you fuck. Also, why do you have no health?
She stepped in a bear trap. You gotta help her.
Yeah, I did, but first she was at half health, and then she was at no health. Also, fuck, I wasted that on myself. I meant to give that to Ashley. I did save.
A total waste.
The fuck?
prepare for the Ashley memes. Oh, this is cool. I love this.
I kind of want to die just to redo this.
That grenade should kill her, don't worry. Oh, it didn't. What the fuck?
Yeah, after I threw it, I was like, that should probably kill her, right?
You could always just knife her and get it over with.
I just let a fire dude kill me.
Yeah. The Fire Lord is unforgiving. I will say that one of the biggest critiques that I have for you, as far as like some of the things I see you do, is that because this game has Resident Evil in front of the 4, and I was kind of memeing with you before, because I think that it is perfectly reasonable to have the resource stance that you have. But this is the game that really made action horror, like, viable.
Hi.
And while the resources aren't infinite, and you still have to be kind of, like, careful with what you're doing, you don't always have to run away from fights in order to conserve ammo.
I have to climb in through the barn to get over to where I need to go, right?
I believe so.
Can I tell Ashley to hop out of there from wherever? Or do I have to go back? Okay.
You just hit the button again and she'll run to you.
Wasn't sure, because I never hit her before. And Ashley was such a fucking pain. 'Cause when I was doing the bit with the forking paths, I wanted to do both so I could get all the treasure. So I did El Gigante, and then I went back to do the path with the fuckload of ganados. And I didn't know, I forgot I could tell her to wait. Or hide. So she was...
That seems like a mistake on your part.
That I'm not, like, it's not the fault of the game at any measure. But the frustration of her being right next to me. Because every time I went to that final bit where I fought the 2 chainsaw chicks, I would instantly die. Because they instantly either killed her or carried her off while I was killing the chainsaw dude so I could get to her. I restarted that like 20 times.
That sounds like a complete mess.
I was so mad.
So, when I was doing my casual playthrough, I ended up sharing my screen because I was playing it on PC. So we don't have to do this like newfangled YouTube streaming bullshit in order to like share my video. And Kelly actually watched me go through that part, and she's like, "Thank God there's a spot for Ashley to hide," because just imagining somebody slog through this section with Ashley in tow just makes me want to die.
I wanted to die. Like, you wouldn't
you
fucking
hadn't cleared
believe.
the round out of your chamber before the guy went to go pitchfork you.
Yep.
But it was also pretty funny. Because I was joking during the Ashley section that it's funny that the developers built in the like, oh, you pervert, for people that are like trying to look up Ashley's skirt, right? Have her hide the stuff, and then like whenever you dodge the knights in the Ashley section, it's just full on panty shot. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really glad they can make up their minds on that one.
I think I got an OU pervert, and I don't even know how I did it.
Yeah, sometimes she just goes off. But it was funny, because Kelly was like, yeah, it's gross because she's like a teenager. And I'm like, she's 20, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelly was like, no, she's like 14. I'm like, no, she's like 20, like actually just 20 years old. She's like,
She
no
asked
way. She looks
Leon
like
if
she's
he wants to fuck at the end.
Oh yeah, and I told her that too. I was like, that's why that's why she asked Leon if she wants to go fuck later. She's like, I just always assumed that was like a 14 or 15-year-old who like thought she knew what she wanted, and Leon was like, "Cut, you're a kid, no." And I'm like, no, she's just full on 20 years old. And she's like, oh, that like really takes a lot of my feelings about this whole situation and changes it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, she's like actually a 20-year-old person who got abducted from her college university. Like, that's literally the story. And she's like, fuck, but she looks like she's like 15. If she looks like she's a kid, she doesn't look old at all.
Presidential healthcare will do wonders for your skin.
You're gonna die.
How am I going to die?
You were sitting there knifing the Plaga, and I was like, if you don't stop doing that, bad things will happen.
Oh, I'm not stupid. Trust me, I died to that in the other game.
I mean, you say you're not stupid, but you're the man who ran a 4K around the opening village.
Do I just make another 2 green? Or do...
I mean, make it triple green. Why not?
I guess. I just feel so dirty doing this.
Why?
Because I never did it in my other run. Like, I own...
A triple green is the same as a red-green mix, or
I
a
know,
hull spray.
but it feels like a waste. Because the distribution of red herbs in the other game is a lot more even than in this game.
So it would be more of a waste for you to mix 2 double greens instead of a triple green.
Oh yeah, no, I
because
agree.
You actively need the green as a base for the reds and yellows you will end up finding.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, I agree that the 3 green was the way to go. It just feels gross combining greens, period.
That's that old school Resident Evil, but we'll beat that out of you.
Something, Resi 6. Tic-tacs.
Something dark side. No, listen here. You will boot scoot across the entire map and roll, okay? You will be prone the entire time, you will shoot, you will have fun as people dump tic-tacs into your mouth so that you don't die on them.
I watched like an in-depth review of 6, and it was like, the mechanics are pretty fun. His hot take was that Chris's was the best. From like a mechanic standpoint. 'Cause that's the only one where like the mechanics come into their own. And other times the mechanics become bogged down by horror tropes. So the best one to physically play is Chris's in his hot take.
So his argument is that because the mechanics are geared towards a dog shit action game, the dog shit action campaign is
he wasn't
the best
defending RE6 like he's not like an RE6 like fan, right? He was just like tolerable gameplay wise. Chris is the best because he's not constantly slowed down by horror tropes. It is the best action game out of the game that tried to make Resident Evil an action game. And everything else is kind of middling in a weird way. But he was also like, Leon, if you want a Resident Evil game, is the best one to play.
Yeah.
But generally,
right.
his discussion was, if you want to play Resident Evil 6, don't. So... he was just going in depth with everything about it. And it was really interesting.
Listen, if you, the person who bought Resident Evil 6. Once you play a Resident Evil game, play the Leon campaign. But also, the Chris campaign is the best one. I know I'm taking it out of context a little bit there, but I think that that's kind of a funny conclusion to have come to.
That's a funny, yeah. It's like, it was also like the gameplay, the core mechanics are shit, you can only handle it in small doses, but if you want the gameplay experience, then you go for Chris. Right. Also, there's apparently a bunch of hidden functions that aren't anywhere in the game that you can do to make things a lot easier and more fun. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like what?
I can't remember. It was like you could, there was like some healing bullshit you could pull, and it doesn't teach you how to navigate on prone. There's like an entire document about shit RE6 doesn't tell you that he pulled up.
Yeah, no, it never tells you how to do prone shit, but it, like, once you figure it out, it's the only way to play the game.
It was like, because their tutorial is literally what kind of game this is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that intro is bad. Very, very bad. So bad, oh god.
Because that's what I feel in my soul right now. Because I don't want to do this.
What are we gonna do, Leon?
Oh, just do it, it's fine. You'll be okay, you'll only die 20 times.
I think when I did this, I died like 3 or 4 times, and it didn't get frustrating, and then I got through. But it felt different when I died, when I got through it. It was just arbitrary. Yep, now you're done.
How many grenades do you have?
I have like 4.
Like full-on hand grenades?
Oh, like 1, I think.
Do me a favor. If you're feeling like you want to do max damage with that handgun, follow my instructions. You see those boarded up windows?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the gameplay starts, you shoot those windows out, you let those zombies in.
Okay.
And then, the all crowd around you are trying to. And you throw 1 grenade and kill them all.
Hmm.
Okay. It's game time.
I'm trusting you on this.
Also, the shotgun's a good backup plan. Kind of blew your load on that grenade. That was not a good grenade.
Yeah, that's what I did it before. We went upstairs. I'm like grouped up at the bottom of the stairs. I tossed a grenade down.
I mean, the lucky part is that you still have your shotgun, so like everything from YouTube to your voice.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if that's because it's on my end or yours.
Probably, maybe?
Also, I know that you're not used to having it, but you can also utilize your TMP a lot more as well. Especially in those tough situations where you're like, I need to reload or I'm gonna die.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. But I also want to kind of save it for a group to spray and pray. You know?
I'm not even sure that that's really the way you want to use the TMP. I think you kind of just want the TMP to kind of act like a second pistol that can really quickly kill individual enemies.
It's great for stunning people in place and keeping them from walking up on me.
Yeah, that's a good use for it as well.
You could not get stuck, Leon. That would be fucking great. The day Leon got fucking high out of his fucking gourd.
The day Leon stood still. I like that zombie fell, but he fell inside.
Yeah, right. If you want to just continue to have shit on lockdown, Lewis, that'd be great. I almost got that shotgun off. That wasn't that bad, actually.
No.
Looks like they're back.
I think those flash grenades really fucking helped.
What do we do now? Bridge I crossed to get here's out, so I guess we have no choice but to keep moving.
I'm not 100% sure how the flash grenades work with the people outside, so I'm not sure.
It knocks anybody who's on a ladder down, and then it keeps everybody on the ground for a few seconds. So I can run around and knock down ladders. Because when you do the pacifist run, if you have enough, you can just skip the whole fight. They don't make any progress anywhere. The other nice thing about the flash grenades is that you don't have to be super accurate with them either. Is it one rocket launcher per El Gigante, or is it two? I can't remember.
It's one. Rocket launchers have enough damage value to kill any enemy in the game.
Except for, what's his face? Napoleon.
No, you have to hit Napoleon's weak spot, and it'll kill him in one hit.
I know, but you can't just bust a fucking rocket launcher like you do the rest of them, is my point.
I mean, technically you could just bust two rocket launchers, but, you know, it is what it is. Technically, it can only be killed by, I mean, a rocket launcher doesn't kill it, but a rocket launcher plus a single knife does, so...
I want to grab a rocket launcher for this El Gigante.
But space.
What do I sell if I want to do that, though?
Are you considering doing one path or two?
I'm doing...
Sorry?
But maybe start with the Ganados.
Yeah, so if you do two paths, start Ganado and then go El Gigante, but...
Can't believe I'll be able to do this while putting away fucking Ashley.
Right?
Where is the dumpster? Right at the start?
You're right at the start. Your phone was very choppy again, but it seems to have fixed itself.
I did this shit so many times, I got this down to a science. I also did the chainsaw bitches with a fucking rocket launcher. So fuck, I want to do this legit. That was the only way I was able to fucking... Oh.
my PlayStation is dumb. PlayStation is dumb. It's like, hey, you haven't been doing anything. It's been an hour, so we're gonna go to rest mode. It's like, dude, I'm in a chat room. Like, I'm
Actively
talking.
speaking.
Like, what are you doing?
What do you think is best strat for the chainsaw leaves?
Basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that one of the ladders is knocked down at the beginning of the fight. You want to retreat up the second ladder and then knock it down once you get to the top. Try to kind of keep them in the pit below and just kind of rain death on them from above so that they never really get a chance to come near you.
Okay.
The only thing that you really need to worry about are people throwing axes and shit at you.
Alright.
But yeah, by making sure that they can't like ever climb the ladder, you really take away their ability to do anything but waste your ammo.
How the fuck did they get up here so quick?
Oh, did they raise the other ladder while you weren't looking?
Possibly. Fuck.
That looks like a big fat rip.
Wait, hide.
don't want to knock down. I want to climb down.
Nobody knows how to use ladders in order to get down. They only know how to use it to get up.
Fuck. Fucking shit. When that shit works, it fucking works though.
Yeah. Definitely just being able to camp the ladders really takes away a lot of the stress of that fight, because if they're never close to you, you never feel like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die, you know?
Right. Wish I had more grenades for this, but...
I mean, really, the benefit of doing the two-path at this point is so that you don't pick up a bunch of stuff.
I'm talking about for this next bit, with the fucking
know.
bunch of dudes.
I know, but, you know, get fucked. Figure it out.
Well, that wasn't so bad. Fuck.
Yeah, no, not at all. Between, like, the additional experience in playing the game that you have, just, like, being overall just kind of really set up with your weapons is pretty nice for that part.
I think it was mostly the experience that got me through that. Because, like, knowing I could, like, trip everybody as they came at me.
Yeah. Also, make sure you reload all of your weapons, because all of them are empty, and you're going to get into a fight and regret not having ammo.
Yep.
My name is Ashley, and I'm out of my hidey hole.
I still don't think I have enough space for a rocket launcher, though.
It looks like you're 2 squares off.
I can probably sell some TMP ammo and...
Where are you going, Leon?
You don't want to go forward that way, you want to go back.
I know to do the other side, but I want to unlock this. For some reason, because I've been playing God of War, I expected her to latch onto my back as I climbed.
You just look at her and you say, boy.
Boy. Stop being completely fucking useless. Take my shotgun. It will help with my space.
Welcome.
I still think that the reason that RE5 ended up being a co-op game is they were like, well, what if we made Ashley not totally useless and just went from there?
Mm.
Back any time. What are you selling? Is that all? Thank you.
You're going about doing that incorrectly, ZT. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fire the 14 TMP bullets into the air.
Uh-huh.
What are you
What
selling?
was that, a couple hundred gold pieces? I think I'm good.
You're not going to be able to fit the rocket launcher vertically. You're going to have to do it horizontally.
Okay. Even this up.
What are you buying? Stranger.
I don't think I'll have space for this.
You do,
Oh,
or
well,
you should.
I might have just enough, actually.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't disputing the fact that you needed to get rid of
Nope.
the 14 TMP bullets.
I don't have enough space.
What are you selling?
Stack the herbs together, and then...
I could just sell the 3 rifle ammo.
Is that all? Thank you. What are you buying? Stranger.
The nice thing about having the rifle and the stock means I'm not wasting one fucking space. Okay.
Leon!
Yes, because I need you to dodge.
He might have fallen on you.
I don't think he would have. I dodged to the side, I didn't dodge back.
He's a big boy, okay?
Big boy.
He's thick.
Where am I supposed to shoot?
There's a boulder.
I know, but the treasure's here. Or is it in the next room? It might be.
It's in the next room.
Also, why is there a barrel up there? 2 of them. If I can't ever use them. It's fucking weird. Well, I didn't know there was a boulder in this part of the room. You gonna fucking hit the thing, Leon? Leon, oh my fuck. Or am I not supposed
It's
to
on
hit
the other side of the bucket.
It's fucking stupid. Again, God of War influence, making me think I can just shoot buckets down. Good God. Going in. Okay. Grab your shit and go talk to the merchant.
Keep in mind that you will want another rocket launcher soon, so inventory space is still precious.
For the big cheese?
Yeah.
I don't think I mind doing that. I didn't do that last time. I just fought him.
Okay.
Welcome.
That's up
I'm
to you.
down for using the fucking rocket launcher again, but
Got a selection of good.
it just slipped my
also-
mind that was an option.
What are you buying?
To be fair though, you do need to fight him a little bit. Because if you rocket launcher him right away, instead of outright killing him, it just sends him to phase 2 where he's got no lower body, and that's the much, like,
harder.
more fucked version of him to fight. So you want to fight him initially, get him into phase 2, and then finish him off with the rocket.
There's another merchant before then, right?
Yeah. It'll be right before him, which is why I wasn't like, hey, go buy the rocket launcher now, but
Yeah.
just keep your inventory situation in mind if that's the route you want to go.
I'm gonna still pick up everything. I'll just sell it as it comes.
Sounds good.
I didn't know you could hop on this from any point, so I waited for a fucking thing to come around the first time I did it.
Oh, that's funny.
Applying logic to video games, that's H. Was actually fist pumping every time I killed a dude?
Yep.
I didn't know that. Neat. I only caught it on the last one.
Yeah, every time you shoot somebody on that lift, she ends up fist pumping.
That's cute.
Yee.
The fuck is that? Merchant's fire, okay. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Are there any clues as to what happened there? Or is it just a spooky ritual?
I think separate ways. You discover... I mean, I don't know if you care about spoilers.
Ah.
So, if you go back into the room at the beginning of the village, the big cheese is there, and then Ada shoots at him, and then they, like, disappear.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up catching her, and they take her there so that they can sacrifice her.
Oh. Fun.
But then she gets out and murders everybody. Because she's Ada, so, like, of course she does.
Yeah. Typical Ada. Is this the merchant before the big cheese?
Welcome.
Yes.
Okay, what do I need to sell?
What are you selling? Come.
A lot, actually. Both grenades.
What are you buying? What are you buying? What are you selling? Is that all stuff? Thank you. Is that all stuff? Thank you. Is that all Thank you. Is that all, stranger? Is that all? Thank you. Is that all, stranger? Thank you. What are you buying? Stranger. Thank you. What are you selling? Thank you. Is that all, stranger? Thank you. Follow me. Better stay outside. Ashley, go hide.
Yeah.
Oh, but I wanted to explore. I hit the buttons. Okay. Fuck, when was the last time I saved?
You should have a checkpoint right there.
Good, I was about to be fucking angry.
You actually haven't saved since Del Lago. Good luck.
Yeah, I
Better
was
stay
like,
outside.
oh no.
Ashley, go hide.
No, I saved before I did, the, Ganados.
I know, I'm giving you crap.
Right.
Hasta luego.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked, but okay. figured that I would have gotten a prompt to fucking dodge there, but alright. This bitch.
I'm charging right at you.
Spamming the same attack. Stop this bullshit!
I think we're running just a little bit too far away from him, and that's why he's doing it.
Holy fucking shit.
Just so you know, the, wow.
Yeah.
The spine is his weak point, not the head.
Okay. Now I'm really fucking worried that I'm gonna miss the fucking rocket launcher.
You're fine. You got him.
Yeah, but he was
That was a
also
good
like
fight.
just starting to move to fucking yeet himself into the ceiling.
I mean, it was a good fight. You got him.
How am I getting that trophy now? I did that before.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. I also didn't know this ladder was here the first time I did this.
Are you okay, Leon?
Yep. I just burned myself, it's fine. Are you good to keep going? Because we've been going for a while.
I'm getting a little tired.
Okay. Just let me know if you want to
It's
stop.
also,
And
like, super early for you, too, I guess, huh?
What a selection.
I went to sleep late, so I'm good.
Stranger. What are you selling? Come back when we talk.
Yeah, I probably should sleep. I haven't been sleeping very well the past couple days.
Okay.
But you're doing a really fucking good job. I was a little concerned after watching you go through the village, but you're murdering fools with ruthless intensity.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm suddenly... I don't think I was this decent when I was doing it the other time either.
I mean, like, you're very good, actually. I think by the end of this, you're going to be hitting whatever it is you want to hit with a very few exceptions.
Mm. That'd be nice.
Right?
Alright.
Well, thanks for hanging, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. You know, I love hanging out with you.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later.